So the Butler Monologues takes place in a fictional place called Igor Acres. It's kind of a retirement home for butlers. And the butlers that are in this place, there's Fritz Igor, who is the attendant for all the butlers at Igor Acres. And then the rest are the TV and movie butlers that you love. So it's Alfred from Batman, Hobson from Arthur, Jeffrey from Fresh Prince, Riff Raff from Rocky Horror, Wadsworth from Clue, Cato from the Green Hornet, Mr. Belvedere from Mr. Belvedere, and Lurch. And then on top of all of those butlers in Act Two, Alice from the Brady Bunch shows up from the FBI to investigate a murder because at the end of Act One of the butlers is murdered, which of course leaves only one possible solution: the butler did it. So the audience then gets to go out at intermission and they vote who they want the murderer to be. So Act Two changes every single night a little bit depending on who the murderer is, not just the ending, but also little tiny moments in dialogue. Somebody says something, if it's this ending, and so on and so forth. So there's a real challenge as an actor as well, but it's a lot of fun for the audience too, and they can see it multiple times and maybe get a different murderer. So our cast is Jonathan Herrera is playing Fritz, and that's like kind of the only original character I created for the show, because the show needs an everyman that like is engaged with the show and is new and fresh enough that will ask the questions that the audience have questions for. So it's always good to have a character like that in the show. So Fritz is there. It's named Fritz because that's the actual name of the Igor character. His name was Fritz, or the actor who played him. So that's a little homage there. Tucker Boys plays Alfred, and I love him to death. He's also our set painter, designer, and works his butt off as an alchemy company member. Lynn Belvedere, so Mr. Belvedere's first name is Lynn, is played by Paul Burt, and I'm so happy to have Paul back with the production. He was Belvedere the first time that we did it and did an amazing job, so I'm really happy to have him back. Riff Raff is played by Trent Brown. Trent did the very first play that I ever wrote, Cyrano. He played Christian, so I'm happy to be working with him again, and he's also done some other shows for Alchemy, Trojan Women, and he's done some Drinkspear shows with us as well. So he's always welcome fellow. Wadsworth is played by BJ Grip, another company member, and he's kind of my right-hand man when it comes to Drinkspear. So it's nice to be able to work with him on a project again as well. And we've been working more and more together. So he's a lot of fun. Jeffrey is played by Kudzai Niamande. And he was referred to me by another friend, and just been fantastic the entire time. Immensely charming, and just bam, got right on it day one. And we're super happy to have him aboard. Lurch is played by Mason Banks. Mason has done some stuff for Alchemy in the past. Also was in Cyrano, but he's been in shows as far back as the first time we did As You Like It. So this will actually be Mason's first time back on stage in a long time. So we're very honored that he would come back and be with us. So that's really, really, really great and gives me a lot of warm fuzzies. Hobson is played by Wayne Hundley, who I don't think I've had the pleasure of working with before, but we've been in a lot of the same circles a lot of times to see each other at shows and things like that. And so this has been really lovely to be able to work with him professionally now. And he's another one that just a consummate professional and comes in and does a great job every single night. Cato is played by Jared Lindsay. Jared is another company member, and Jared and I have worked on a lot of projects. Jared's also a writer, so it's nice to have another writer in the room helping out. And he was also Cato last time, so he's also familiar with the show, and he's a part of Drinkspear, and also one of the co-creators with Tucker, who's playing Alfred of our Be Heard series, which we really hope that we can bring that back. And then finally, we have Kathleen Switzer, who's another company member who's playing Alice, who did the show last time as well. And it's just an absolute joy the way that Kathleen finds the subtlety of the the silly, like sort of ditzy side of Alice as a character within a character, because she's the detective. She knows exactly what's going on and who's lying and who's doing this. And she does a really great job of playing both sides of that coin, like luring people into a sense of comfort that she can then extract information out of. And she's always great at that. While the second act of the show does change slightly in different ways, none of it is improvised. All of it is scripted. And so in the script, I will write, there are multiple different endings. And so let's say that, we're doing ending, 3C tonight or whatever it is. And so all the actors will flip through Act 2, and all the moments that are affected by the 3C ending, including who did it, what murder weapon was used, all that kind of stuff. And it's all underlined in highlight. So if there's anything that can be changed by the possibility of the ending, then the lines are very specifically changed, because it was always important to me that the crime could be solved by the audience, and it didn't have to be too much of ex machina for Alice just to solve it at the end. Yeah, they can see 8 different murder mysteries, and they'll get a lot of the same jokes and a lot of the same the enjoyment of the show that is there. I don't think there's anything about the different endings that would cause you to say, I haven't seen the full show. You'll still see the full show each time, but the endings are pretty spectacular, because the killer gets caught and gets to do their big, manifesto of like, yeah, I did it and I'd do it again, and I'll tell you exactly why. And those are really, really fun each and every time. So I would suggest people see it at least twice if they can, just to try and see a couple more endings. And see how the characters react too, because all of the Butlers and Alice know who the killer is when the lights go up for Act 2. So there's an uneasiness, or the character who is the killer will probably be a little bit less helpful to the investigation each time. People should go see the Butler Monologues to support new works, to support diverse works, and just to have a fantastic night out. I can guarantee you will not be bored at this show. It is a delightful time. The actors are all so charming and amazing. I mean, we've got 9 guys on stage, which is tough to do in Orange County at all, let alone actors of a certain age being able to play all of these roles. And so it's just a joy, and such a diverse group also. So, support new theater, support live theater, but also just support these individuals who are working their butts off learning 8 different endings just to entertain people, depending on what they want to see that night. This is Jeff Lowe with Alchemy Theater Company. I hope that you come out to see the Butler Monologues. Please support your local theaters, support any theater. Make sure you're getting out there, and make sure you're letting them know that you love them, online, in person, any way that you can. Theater is one of the most important resources that we have, and we want to keep it going for as long as entertainment and the human spirit exists. So please support Alchemy Theater, support local theater. I hope that you come out to see the Butler Monologues. We'll see you in the theater.